Good morning, everybody.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to Western New York Heroes. Here we decided, as many of you might know, we've had a radio show that we were doing all of last year, and we decided why having to keep going to the radio station and deal with outreach that might only reach out so far, and we figured that going to YouTube and Facebook, the outreach in the community would be a lot further, so we decided to do it right here in our own office. The first one, Tuesday morning talk, and we're gonna do this every morning and bring to you different veterans we might have helped, different partners in the community, sponsors, supporters, and just let everybody know in the community what their donation, what their assistance continues to help us do for our veterans of Western New York.
So thank you everybody for tuning in and welcome.
So this morning we brought on Jacob Puff. Jacob is with Pat Stone, also a veteran himself of the Air Force. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got involved with Pat Stone?
Well, as a matter of fact, before I got involved with Pat Stone, I was a client. Let me tell you a little bit about the program. The SSVF program, which is the grant that I operate here in Erie and Niagara County, is designed to help veterans who are at risk of becoming homeless or literally homeless. And about 3-4 years ago, I was facing a transitional change and I was having difficulty in the community, like most veterans coming back from overseas or from out of their service. So I went to the Veterans One Stop Center and to get some assistance from them, and I don't know, it didn't go too far. But I remember getting some help from the Veterans Outreach Center as well. I did the SSVF program and I was able to secure permanent housing. And after that, the position opened up for Pat Stone's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, and I immediately applied. With my experience actually going through the program, I was able to help veterans who were having similar struggles that I was actually having at the time. So right now I'm basically looking at helping veterans who are literally homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. I've helped guys who are out on the streets or who are out in shelter. We're working with the VA. I've gotten guys who come in with rental arrears, with eviction notices, and I try to stay the evictions. I can pay for transportation. I can meet my clients wherever they are, so they don't have to come to my office here in Williamsville. If they're out in a remote location, I could drive to Niagara County. I can service anybody. I was just in Colden the other day with a veteran that we actually have in common. It was Lynn who first referred the veteran to me. He was out in Colden and he was facing a foreclosure. And I went out there to meet him. We had about a 2-hour talk to figure out what was going on. He came in with a plan. So I came back and I talked to Lynn, and she hit the streets with her connections in the community and found me some movers. So I'm going to pay for those movers, and they're going to help with the first month's rent and security deposit once we find this guy a place.
The movers are?
No, we are.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The Western New York Heroes is going to help with the with the first month's rent and security deposit. I'm going to help with the moving costs.
Right.
So
And a nice little shout out to Zito Hoovers for jumping in and such a short notice.
This gentleman, this veteran also needed snow plowing?
He had his driveway. I had to actually trudge through about 3 feet of snow just to get to this guy's back door to get into his house to do the interview. And he even told me, he's like, I can't get out of my driveway. What am I gonna do? And it wasn't 2-3 hours later, Lynn already had somebody over there plowing the driveway.
Simple Facebook posts, and all of our supporters in the community jumped on that and gave us referrals and phone numbers and other places that they were searching for diligently too on Craigslist. And my second phone call, the gentleman said, I'm going to drive past there and I'll give you a quote. He called me back a couple hours later and said, I am going to drive past there with my plow and do it for free. So I wish I had his name in front of me. A huge shout out to him, which I will definitely post up today because highly recommended. He took it upon himself to do it at no cost. So we were able to get the driveway plowed, and now in hopes that Zito Movers will be able to move him out, and Pat Stone help financially cover that cost to get him moved. And then once we find him a place and secure him a safe place to stay, Western New York Heroes will step in and we'll be able to do the first month's rent and security deposit. So we're pretty excited about that, and it's just been an awesome partnership having Jacob here in our office.
I mean, even after hours, I know I can talk to Chris or Lynn about anything that's going on, and we can figure out what's going on with the veteran and try to help them from home. It never ends. It's an ongoing struggle, but I love it, and I'm sure they do too by the great work that they've done in our community.
Yeah, so our relationship with Pat Stone has been nothing but positive. I know we were dealing with Joel for a while, who has now gone off to another organization, but even with our dealings with Sue, the experience has been great. We love having you here. We love being able to work back and forth and know that by partnering, we can help more veterans that have much greater needs. So I can't think of any other.
How long ago was it when I started here? When we partnered up?
I
Was
wanna
that
say-
last year?
No, I want to say 2015.
2015?
Yeah.
2015, yeah.
Oh, wow.
September, if I remember correctly.
Time flies.
Yeah, and it's,
You're having
again,
blast.
it's a great partnership, you know, we're doing a lot together.
I got my own
achieving
office,
a lot.
with a window.
There you go.
This is a really great office.
Just
I
don't
love
jump.
it.
But,
I might sprain my ankle.
I don't even think
Yeah.
so.
yeah, it's
I
a
don't know, I
partnership
put on
that
some
we
weight
love.
lately.
We all have.
Do you have anything coming up, anytime soon that maybe you want to put a plug in for, or?
Nothing really, I'm just out there getting my feelers into the community, so. I
Now,
don't have
you
any
deal strictly
special
with
events
homeless
planned.
vets?
Homeless vets or vets at risk of becoming homeless, and they have to have served at least one day of active duty, other than for training.
All right, that's important to know.
Yeah, so.
Now, is the version of homeless vet with Pat Stone different from the county?
Well, we consider literally homeless somebody who's out in the streets or in shelter. If they're staying with a friend, or if they're staying with a family member on a temporary basis, we don't count that as homeless. That's somebody who might be at risk of becoming homeless should they have to leave that place.
And it's
So
good
we
you can
stay in-
still help them.
We stay in contact with them so that when it does come time for them to move out and moving in on their own, I can open them up as a case, what we call a prevention case, prevention from becoming homeless, so that if he does have to leave his temporary living situation from either doubled up overcrowding or disputes within the place that they're living, we can get him out of there, get him into a new place, and service them just like a veteran who was coming off the streets.
So is Pat Stone basically like a HUD-VASH program?
No. Those too often get confused. They confuse my program with the VA. I'm not VA. I'm funded by the VA, but the HUD-VASH program is actually a program designed to help veterans who are very low income, who are surviving on income below 50 to 30% area median income. So they don't have very much money to spend on their rent. So what HUD-VASH does is it's a Section 8 voucher program specifically for veterans that they basically. The veteran's responsibility for the rent is only 30% of their income. So, but I work with HUD-VASH all the time. We have a great relationship with the HUD-VASH team here in Western New York. So I've gone to committee meetings, I've gone to meetings in Alabama and in North Carolina and everywhere like that. I'm running into HUD-VASH programs that take months to get vouchers to guys. These guys can get it done in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we have a really good team, you know, I have a really good relationship with the VA team in Buffalo and Niagara County.
Now, do veterans who are combat veterans, do they take precedence over regular veterans, or is it just as long as you're a veteran and at risk of becoming homeless?
Well, that's discretionary. I mean, if the veteran's a combat veteran, they normally come with their own special, you know, type of instances that you gotta deal with. But personally, I'm not supposed to put a preference on it, but sometimes I do. Because if somebody's a combat veteran and I know that they you know, that term, all gave some gave all, well, some gave a lot more than others. So I usually put my attention to the person who needs it the most. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. But for combat veterans, I usually go the extra mile. I like to go the extra mile for everybody, but I just put a little extra oomph in there for them.
Sure.
Sometimes
like
they
they
come
deserve
with, right, sometimes there's additional need.
Yeah, there's additional barriers and additional
When-
need.
Mhm.
Just leveling with them is the best thing I can do, and try to understand what's going on with their situation. You know, we're all vets here, so we have an idea of what's going on within our community. We know that vets are struggling with transitions, especially combat veterans. So they're the ones who end up needing the most help, I would imagine.
Right,
And they're usually the most grateful.
right. Good.
Right.
We're happy to have you here.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
couldn't be more happy. The place that I was partnered with last time wasn't an effective relationship, so I'm really glad that I'm here with Western New York Heroes now.
What's
Is-
the best way,
yeah.
what's the best way that people can get a hold of you if they are facing eviction, facing being homeless, or actually are homeless?
Well, I'm out on the town a lot. I'm visiting clients. I'm going to meetings, so I'm not really in the office. So trying to come in for a walk-in usually is impossible. So if they call me at my cell phone number, which is 785-5480. They can reach me anywhere, and if I don't answer the phone, I'll take a message and call them back. But like if I'm driving or something, but they can reach me at my cell phone at any time during normal business hours, Monday through Friday.
Right. And you can go ahead and call our office as well, and we'll make sure that you get in touch with Jacob at 716-630-5020, and let us know if you are facing eviction, if you're looking at being homeless, or if you already are homeless. And we do have other programs that we can partner with Jacob, just a slew of programs such as service dog programs and whatnot, which we will talk about further. But for now, we just wanted to focus on Pat Stone.
Is there an email address should somebody not have a cell phone or a website?
Yeah, you could send an email to jpuff, P-U-F-F, like the Magic Dragon, at pathstone.org, PATHSTONE.org. And also, if you can't call, you can text me at 716-785-5480. It's a cell phone that I use for work.
And what's the
That's good to know.
website should anybody want to visit? Is there a website for Pat Stone?
Yeah, you can go to www.pathstone.org. That's going to give you the company in Rochester. That's where it's from.
Now,
So I work
that's your
for-
corporate office?
Yes.
Your branch office?
Yeah, it's at 400 East Avenue in Rochester, New York. So I drive there occasionally. My supervisor can drive here occasionally, but yeah.
Yeah. So I know we're heading out there on the 30th, I believe,
Right.
30th of January,
30th.
to the Rochester Veterans Outreach Center to talk about New York Serve and how that program works. We've been a part of New York Serve for probably almost 2 years now. Great program. It gives us the capability to have an even wider outreach for services that our veterans might come to us and be in need of. We might not necessarily always be able to provide that need, but now having New York Serve at our fingertips allows us to at least put them in the system and send out what that veteran needs, with the hopes that somebody out there in Western New York, if not pretty much the entire state of New York, maybe they can provide the service or want to help and partner with it. So if you're a provider or a, what would you call it? If you have anything to do with veterans, dealing with veterans in any way, and want to jump on New York Serve,
And you don't have to be a veterans organization.
right? As long as your best interest is for the veteran, get a hold of us. We can give you the contact information to Rachel out at the Rochester Veterans Outreach Center, and I'm sure that they would be happy to get you linked up on a New York Serve and just continue to build that broad band there for our veterans. So I think that's all we have for today. So we thank everybody for listening, for watching. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to give us a call at
716-630-5020, or you can email us at heroes@WNYHeroes.org.
and feel free to check out our website at WNYHeroes.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Until next Tuesday, thank you very much for joining in.